Hey everyone! Today we're going to explore a really cool part of history that not many people talk about, the story of the Samanid Empire. It all started with a man named Saman Kuda. He was a noble from a village called Saman in what is now northern Afghanistan. At first, he followed the religion of Zoroastrianism, but later he became a Muslim during the rule of a leader named Asad ibn Abdallah al-Qasri in Khorasan. Saman respected him so much that he even named his son Asad ibn Saman after him. Saman's family claimed they were connected to old Persian heroes, including Bahram Choban. Some people said they were part Turkish, but most don't believe that. In the year 819, Asad's 4 sons helped stop a rebellion and were each rewarded with their own regions to govern. Nu got Samarkand, Ahmad got Fargana, Yahya got Tashkent, and Ilyas got Herat. This is how the Samanids began to grow their power. Ilyas died in 856, and his son Ibrahim took over. He became a commander but lost a big battle and was captured. Around the same time, Nu took over a city called Isfijab and built a wall to keep enemies out. When he died, his brothers Yahya and Ahmad took control. Later, Ahmad expanded their territory even more. When Ahmad died, his sons took over. Nasir I got Samarkand and Fargana, while Yaqub got Chak. The ruling dynasty at the time, the Tahirids, was getting weaker. This gave the Samanids a chance to rise. Nasir sent his brother Ismael to help fix the problems in Bukhara, a city that was suffering from raids and chaos. Ismael was welcomed like a hero. However, the brothers argued over money. Ismael eventually won and became the real leader, even though the official title still belonged to Nasir. When Nasir died in 892, Ismael became the full ruler. Ismael made Bukhara the capital. In 900, he defeated the powerful Safarid ruler, Amr, and sent him to Baghdad where he was executed. Ismael was then officially named ruler of a large area, including Khorasan, Transoxiana, Tabaristan, Ray, and Isfahan. Even the Afrigid dynasty accepted his rule. Before that big win, Ismael had already taken over other regions like Ushrusana and Bukhara. He also fought against Turkic tribes, captured Talis, and turned a church into a mosque. His campaigns brought many people into the slave trade, which sadly became a big part of their economy. Later, Ismail's army beat the ruler of Tabaristan, but his general rebelled. Ismail had to step in to fix things. In 901, he won another big battle against the Safarids, making the Samanids more powerful than ever, stretching from Qazvin in the west to Peshawar in the east. Ismail was known as a smart and strong leader. His victories brought peace to many cities. But because the cities didn't have to use their defensive walls for so long, they began to fall apart, and that became a problem later. Ismail died in 907, and his son Ahmad Samani became the new ruler. Ahmad kept building the empire. He took over Sistan in 911 and made his cousin the governor. He also fought against a leader named Hassan al-Utrush, but lost. Before he could try again, Ahmad was sadly murdered by his own slaves in 914. He had also made the unpopular choice of switching the court language to Arabic, which he later reversed after backlash. Ahmad's young son Nasir too became ruler at only 8 years old. A smart advisor named al-Jayani helped run things while Nasir grew up. But there were still many revolts. One was led by Nasir's great-uncle Ishaq, who took over Samarkand and even made his own coins, but he was captured and his son died naturally. More rebellions came. In 919, the governor of Khorasan turned against the Samanids. After several battles, he was captured and jailed until he died in 920. During all this, Nasir too built a grand palace in Bukhara. In the west, he clashed often with local rulers. One of them, Makan ibn Kaki, took over Nishapur for a while but was later defeated. By 943, Nasir supported a religious group called the Isma'ilists, which upset many army leaders. They planned to kill him, But his son Nu-I found out and acted fast. He stopped the plot, killed the leader, and promised to reduce Ismaili influence. Nasser stepped down and died soon after. Nu-I had a tough start too. There were revolts in Khorazm, and a big challenge from a leader named Abu Ali Shagani, who didn't want to give up his post. Shagani even put Nu's uncle on the throne for a while. But the people didn't support that, and Nu quickly took back the city. He blinded his uncle and beat Shagani's army. Even then, Shagani kept fighting until peace was made. He had to send his son as a hostage to Bukhara. By 945, military slaves called Turks were starting to control the government. The Samanid rulers were still there, but their real power was fading. Then came a big change. A former Samanid commander named Alp Tigin took over Ghazna in 962. One of his successors, Tigin, ruled there for 20 years and started the Ghaznavid dynasty. This marked the beginning of the end for the Samanids, who slowly lost their power in the late 900s. And after reaching the height of their power, the Samanid Empire started to weaken. In the middle of the 10th century, they began losing control. In 962, a general named Alp Tigin, who worked for the Samanids in Khorasan, decided to break away. He marched into a city called Ghazna and took over. Even though he and his followers claimed to still follow the Samanids, they were really doing things on their own. By the 990s, things got worse. A group of Turkic people called the Karakhanids came in from the east. In 992, their leader, Harun Bughra Khan, captured the Samanid capital, Bukhara. He died soon after, and the Samanids briefly got the city back. But it didn't last. In 999, Harun's nephew, Nasr b. Ali returned, and this time the Samanids couldn't stop him. Bukhara fell again, almost without a fight. The Samanid lands were split. The Ghaznavids took the southern parts, including Khorasan and Afghanistan, and the Karakhanids took the northern part called Transoxiana. The Oxus River became the new border between them. Even though the Samanid Empire was falling apart, one prince didn't give up. His name was Ismael Muntasir, the youngest son of Nu II. He escaped from prison and went to a place called Khorazm to find supporters. Against the odds, he took back Bukhara and Samarkand, but he couldn't keep them for long. The Karakhanids forced him to leave. He then went to Khorasan and captured Nishapur. But a new powerful leader, Mahmud of Ghazni, didn't want anyone else to gain power. He sent his army, and Ismael had to run away again. Still, Ismael kept trying. In 1003, he returned to Transoxiana, and, with help from a group called the Oghuz Turks, won some battles. He even beat Nasir Khan, the Karakhanid leader. But trusting the Oghuz Turks made him nervous, so he left them and tried to get Mahmud's support instead. Mahmud wasn't interested. With no better option, Ismael went back to the Oghuz. He won one more battle in 1004, but was abandoned during the next fight. His army fell apart. He escaped to Khorasan again. Later that year, he made one final try to get back into Transoxiana. This time, the Karakhanids were ready. He barely made it out alive. He found shelter with an Arab tribe near Merv, but their leader betrayed and killed him in 1005. With his death, any hope of bringing back the Samanid Empire was gone. The royal family stayed in the area and were respected, but they had no real power anymore. Still, the Samanids left behind a strong legacy and culture. They played a big part in what historians call the Iranian Intermezzo, a time when Persian culture and power came back after a long period of Arab control. As the Abbasid Caliphate became weaker, local Persian-style rulers like the Samanids and Buyids became more important in shaping the Islamic world. Their government followed the old systems used by the Abbasids, and even earlier ones from the Sasanian Empire. The ruler, Emir, was at the top, with governors and military leaders, often Turks, managing different regions. A government office called the Divan handled paperwork, taxes, and military stuff. Arabic was used for official business, but Persian culture kept growing stronger. The Samanids also supported the arts, science, and literature. They helped Persian poets like Rudaki, Balami, and Dakiki. Thanks to their support, a new version of the Persian language called New Persian started to grow and become as respected as Arabic. They were devout Sunni Muslims, but were more tolerant than many rulers, even toward people like Zoroastrians who still followed old traditions. They were also great traders. Samanid coins have been found as far away as Scandinavia, showing how far their trade reached. While farming was still important, trade brought in money and helped connect them with other places. In the arts, especially pottery, their influence is still visible. Many ceramic pieces from their time have Arabic writing or show scenes from everyday life. These show what people cared about: being kind, generous, and wise. Today, many of these items are in museums around the world. The Samanid Empire may have ended, but their cultural achievements helped build the future. They laid the foundation for later Persian-style Muslim empires like the Ghaznavids. Their ideas, art, and support for culture continued to shape Central Asia and the Islamic world for a long time.